Get in, chop.
Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Trudy LPC, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Self-Aware Podcast. I have a special guest with me this week. You guys may remember her from last season, Doula Ife. She is here. She's a doula, she's a coach, as well as an educator, and she's also the owner of Cherishing Life Beginnings. You guys, I promise you want to stay tuned to this episode because she is going to share some amazing information with you guys. I personally love being able to talk with her. I've known her pretty much my entire life, it feels like. So please, without any further ado, welcome to the Self-Aware Podcast, Doula Ife. Hey, Ife, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing. Thank you for having me today.
I'm so grateful that you chose to come back to bless us with your presence. Definitely always a good time and always great to interact with you. So I'm definitely grateful for you taking some time out. I know, some of our audience may just be picking up with season 2. So if you don't mind just telling the audience a little bit about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So again, my name is Ife Adebowale. I am the owner and founder of Cherishing Life Beginnings, Doula and Birth Educational Services. I am your all-around birth keeper. I am a holistic, certified birth and postpartum doula, childbirth educator, Yanni specialist. I am an instructor. I train women to become doulas. I'm a mentor. So anything pertaining to birth, you probably can holler at your girl, and that's me.
All right. Well, you do it all. I was like, okay, I feel like added some stuff in there since last season, but I'm here for it. Definitely loving it. Definitely loving what you do. And I know you got some things coming up, and we'll talk more about those things towards the end of the show. But definitely, in kind of researching for the episode, I know we talked in pre-show a little bit about how you wanted to take this episode. And one of the things that I told you stood out to me when I went to your page to kind of do research was this idea of being under construction. So I know what under construction means to me, but I just want to hear a little bit about what does that mean for you?
Yes. So as far as under construction, I myself, when I say I am under construction, it is in all walks of my life. My business is under construction. Myself personally is under construction because I'm going through a lot of changes. Life in general, the things that I'm dealing with in life are under construction. So when I say under construction, I want people to know that what you see right now, it's a work in progress, and who I am today is not who I'm going to be tomorrow. So take that in stride and understand that I am a work in progress and under construction.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that idea. When I went to your page, I was just like, I think this is where I think we should go with it, just because I feel like so often we try to put out there this image of perfection. We try to make people think that we just got it together overnight. And it's just not the case for so many people. I'm under construction. I'm always under construction because I feel like as human, we're always evolving and growing and changing. And if you're not, then you're dying. We have to continue to grow. We have to continue to water ourselves. So I just really, really loved a little bit about that part of your journey, because we have a lot of people who do go through different life struggles, and sometimes they have issues navigating those struggles. What has it been like for you kind of navigating through those things while under construction?
Well, what's interesting is, and I'm sure a lot of individuals can relate, as I grew within myself, I actually left the church and I became a spiritual being instead of a religious being. Within that has been my strength to navigate through a lot of things that I've been dealing with in life. And I'm being honest, it's been extremely hard. But I must say, understanding and taking that time out again in my spirituality, that self-love, self-care, meditation, journaling, these are the things that I cling to now. I still do attend church every now and then because I feel like, Spirit sends me there to get a word or two. But for the most part, it's my spirituality that I've clinged on to get me through these very difficult and challenging times that I've been dealing with throughout the years, actually.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I love the self-care piece of it. And I just love the reflection and really knowing what your spirit needs. I like the idea of following spirit just in general. I've been out of the church for quite some time myself, and I've kind of started this journey of just exploring more about spirituality, not just in Western, the Western kind of sense of it, but really
Right.
looking at things like healing chakras and just getting more into it. I'm still a very much a novice in those areas or whatever, but I'm finding
Mhm.
the practices of that very helpful in terms of just doing something that is outside of just the four walls of the church and what we may have all grew up listening to and learning. So I love that you have found ways to deal with the struggle of just life in general, and not feeling like the only way through is to go and you know be amongst the saints, I guess, if you want to classify
Right.
it in that way. But I know another thing that I've kind of seen, I guess, your evolution of is you going, from beginning your business and seeing it flourish. I was doing a little bit of research and saw like, just being rated very high in your area. And I know that's not an easy feat. So I want to know a little bit more about your journey of like persevering through building a business, because that's not easy to do, building
No.
a business and then having it thrive the way that your business has thrived.
Yes, yes. It again, it's been a challenge, sister. We all can make things look very, very good. Face value.
Yes.
But again, it has been very hard. I'm grateful and thankful that I have an amazing support team around me. I have 5 kids, so again, it's difficult. But it's been a blessing because I've been able to utilize my support system to be able not only to assist me with my children, but my support system, they're also a part of my organization. We all work together in some form, shape, or fashion. So having that village, we talked about that village mentality, having the village, having individuals around you that support your ideas, your thoughts, your family, that has really been the catalyst of how I've been able to pour myself into my business, and actually be able to flourish. And also just understanding the needs and the wants of mothers. I'm a mother.
Mm.
So, it really aids with my own personal life, dealing with
Yeah.
my own personal children, understanding the things that I need, and being able to build a business off of that because I understand the exact needs that mothers, families that have children, that are busy, that are working, I understand their needs, which makes it easy to be able to build a business when you're building it based on what your consumer needs, not necessarily what you want to give them.
Right, right. And that's so important, building what the need is. Like that's where a lot
Yeah.
of businesses fail, in not really catering to the need of the clientele that you're really wanting to be able to serve. And I know that, when it comes to building a business and, you talked about your business also being under construction, when it comes to kind of navigating that, like it is not always, an easy thing to do. What were some of the challenges you feel like you've had to overcome in being able to be under construction while still navigating just life and the business part of things?
Well, one thing that I had to understand as an entrepreneur is, the different ways of creating business and expanding business and scaling business. What I would say a mistake that I made in the very beginning was not building the foundation as strong as I should have. I had the business sense. I had went to school, business degree, but it was like I didn't put it all together until I was actually in it.
Mm.
So I've had to, backpedal to put things in place in order to move forward. And I think that's what everybody is beginning to see now. Y'all haven't seen the backside of me backpedaling and me falling off for a second. And now, things are where they need to be because I was able to take that time and actually build those foundations that were weak, build those up stronger, but still able to move forward within the business because as a birth keeper or a birth worker, your job never stops. So even with me having to backpedal and do what I had to do, in below the surface, I still had to be Doula Ife or, traditional student midwife Ife. So always putting yourself forward, understanding your purpose and mission, but also ensuring that you cross all your T's and you dot all your I's as you continue to move forward with the building and foundation and the advancements of your business.
Yeah. 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 It's a lot, that people don't know about entrepreneurship, especially, like you said, a lot of people make it look easy, but they don't really know what that journey looks like. They don't know the tears. They don't know all of the stuff that goes into like, why isn't this working? I know I've been struggling a lot lately with whether or not I want to kind of keep going in the direction that I've been going because I'm just like, wow, I just don't feel like it every day. I don't want to do it every day. Like seeing clients is easy. I was born to do that. But just the other stuff that I've tried to incorporate over the years, with doing the videos, doing the podcast or whatever, it's just, like things just don't always line up the way that you want them to. And so it's kind of like, it can get discouraging, in running a business and also trying to balance your own mental health with that. I know for you, a lot of your journey, you even mentioned it earlier when you were talking about spirituality, has been towards self-love and self-acceptance. And I think that those things are very key to being able to be successful in business because you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of disappointment before you get to that place of thriving. What was your journey towards self-acceptance and self-love like for you?
Well, honestly, that's still part of my work, in progress, under construction, because it took me hitting another rock bottom in my life to actually look in the mirror and see what was before me, and accepting what was before me and telling myself, hey, you've lost yourself. Now it's time to get back to you, loving yourself. It took me falling in order to see that I wasn't giving myself that. And now that I see it, I'm just pouring all in because that was exactly what I needed. God removed things away from us or out of our lives. And, we hold on to things, because we love it. We want it. Or whatever the case may be, the reason why we are so attached and won't allow it to go. But I must say that this journey that I'm in, this chapter that's being, written and about to be closed and sealed, it took that in order for me to see, hey, stop, Ife, be still, love yourself, take care of you first, and then everything else you will flourish. So that's where I am with that, work in progress under construction.
I'm here for the under construction. Listen, I definitely have been doing a lot of self-work lately. My therapist has me like journaling, which I hate journaling, but it's been so helpful. And I've really learned a lot about, I guess, myself. And even though like I hate it and I'll write in my journal how much I hate journaling, but I can't deny the fact that it feels good, that I sleep better just getting it off of my chest. And so as much as I hate it and I tell her that I hate it, it is kind of starting to be a little bit more helpful. Like, has journaling been a part of your practice?
Journaling, I do journaling every day, girl. I got one sitting right here. You see, it still got a tag on it. I just bought it, and I actually just started writing in it 2 days ago. I got journals all over my house. Journaling is very important for me because I'm the type of person, things that sit in me. So, and I'm not a talker. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't like talking to people about my problems because I feel like I'm giving them that energy that I'm feeling. So instead of doing that, which, yes, it's perfectly okay to talk to people. But instead of always just, pouring myself into other people and those negative emotions, I take my journal, girl, and I write it out. I have a journal just for negative thoughts. Write it
Mm.
in there, close it up, and don't ever look at it again. Once it's filled up, it get burned up. So journaling is key for me. Plus, I'm a writer. I love to write. I like to sing. So, writing is therapeutic for me.
Wow. Yeah. I forgot you like to sing. I remember you singing in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I got you. But speaking of writing, I noticed that you are finishing up a book.
Actually, I have I've written two books. I've written a workbook for my mentorship program called Birthpreneur Blueprint, the Startup Mentor Doulaship Program. And the second one is a journal, calendar, and planner. And it's a bundle birth book. So they are already written. They are for sale. I don't do a good job of, getting stuff out there. I'm going to work on that marketing piece. That's another thing that I'm working on too, being able to funnel money into marketing. But yes, author, I've written two, and I'm actually going to write a book, like,
Okay.
home birth book about my experience and my journey as a home birth mother and also as a home birth doula. So I do have another one coming.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, your marketing, I'm gonna need you to step it up because like the last thing I saw said I was finishing up my book. I'm finishing it, and you already got it to market. See, you got me out here like all behind the times now.
Yeah, I got to get together, sister. I'm working on it.
I got you. You under construction. That's right. So I definitely get that. Yeah, but like in being under construction, one of the other things that kind of stood out to me was this idea of like the growth mindset and how that kind of is really important for us to have in terms of us being open to the possibility of change. What has that journey been like for you in terms of, I guess, developing that growth mindset?
As far as that, I must say that, understanding how to accept. That has been the hardest thing for me when it comes to change acceptance. Because again, we get so comfortable in things that we're doing in people, places that, it's hard to change. But again, clinging on to that spirituality and understanding that change is inevitable. That's the only thing in life that is consistent, change and death. And I guess birth is too, it's always going to be babies here, but
right.
Yes, ma'am. So as far as change, being under construction, I have learned that I have to accept what is, whether I like it or not. And in accepting, we can move forward. And that's where I am.
Yeah. I love that, the getting to the acceptance part. And what comes up for me when we kind of talk about that is, the serenity prayer, that accepting the things that you cannot change, but still being able to change the things that you can. And in life, there always has to be change, because without it, we're not moving. There is no growth. And I think that a lot of people get stuck. We're both from LaGrange, and we know with, where we're from, there are a lot of people that have become stuck in different mindsets, and so I think that being able to see people like you who are thriving and being able to kind of change the game up and not necessarily going with the status quo, I think that that's so important. So I love seeing your growth, and have definitely admired your growth over the years, because it's been amazing to watch. Do you see the growth that maybe others are seeing in you?
I most definitely feel the growth. I can say, I can say that. Well, I'm gonna say this. I do see the growth. I definitely see the growth. But it's bigger to me because I'm beginning to feel the transition of the growth, if that makes any sense. So I may not necessarily be able to see what you're saying. For example, Jessica Do you remember Jessica Burton? You might not remember her. She went to high school with us. She was in the golf game. I'm gonna say that. The people with the black coats and stuff.
I mean, I was the person with a black coat, but I don't know her.
Well, you might not know. I was just trying to see if that might have jogged the memory, because it was little cliques, and you had people that were goth, you had preppy kids, you had your different cliques, and I was just trying to see if you might have remembered from that. But anywho, Jessica, she saw my tip of the day video that I provided today, and it was about acceptance. It's okay to change. It was really about change. And she inboxed me and she thanked me for that message, because she was stating about her father and some different things that happened. But I, in return, thanked her because she confirmed a message that was given to me 2 weeks ago. A lady walked up to me, and I'm not going to give detail, but a lady walked up to me and she gave me a message, and I was like, what in the hell? But today it was confirmed. And in that, Jessica was like, who you are and what you do is necessary, and in that is what I mean by I can feel opposed to see what other people see, because you see something that I might not necessarily see. But when the message is given back to me, then I can feel what it is that you all are seeing, because I'm getting the messages, the downloads, but not necessarily understanding what it means until I get that confirmation. And then once I get that confirmation, I feel I can, within the change is me feeling it, and it changes the narrative around me. So I hope that makes sense. I know I'm kind of going around what you asked, but yes, I can see the change, and I also feel the change.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I think that confirmation piece is so important. I was actually exploring something because, like I said, I've been kind of just like, I don't know if I want to keep doing some of the stuff that I've been doing. And that has just been really in my spirit, and journaling about it. And I remember journaling the other day. I was like, God, I need a sign. I need you to show up and give me a sign like that I need to keep pushing through. Because I'm good either way, but I know that there are some things that I'm trying to manifest in my life that if I stop doing what I'm doing, they won't manifest in the same way. But I asked God for a sign probably 11:35 that night, because I usually journal after I get off work in the evenings. I opened my eyes yesterday morning, and no less than me posting a podcast that I was on, in an interview that I did with someone on self-care, someone came in the comments and was like, hey, can you call me? I was like, sure, I can call you after my sessions. And they inboxed me and they were like, hey, yeah, I want you to come and speak to this group of women. And I was like, okay, God, I hear you. I asked for a sign that I'm on the right path, that I should continue to do speaking, motivational stuff, and continuing to spread the message of mental health. And I literally opened my eyes and you sent someone asking me to come speak to a group of women about mental health. And I was like, you know what? All right, I hear you. Let me just shut up and get over myself, get over my ego, and just keep moving forward. So I think the confirmation piece, I'm glad you said that, because I was just like, wow, we just never know.
That just shows that what you're doing is purposeful. God has a purpose and a mission for this piece that you might not necessarily want to continue to do, but he's not going to let you stop doing it, because it's his mission, it's his purpose, and it's something that only you can do.
Yeah. I got you. I hear you. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it alone. But so I do want to kind of shift gears a little bit, because I don't want to go there. But I do want to shift gears because you got some big stuff coming up. Okay.
So yeah. On October the 7th, we are having our second annual Ancestral Starseed celebration. And this year, the theme is Illuminate the Path. The Ancestral Starseed celebration is in honor of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Our organization, we do add in maternal mortality as well as abortions and adoptions, because these mothers are also affected whether the abortion or adoption was voluntary or involuntary. So we add a bit more to this than just, the average pink and blue remembrance month of October. But more about the event. The event will be held at the Arts of Yoga, which is located on Armour Road. The event is from 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. We will have keynote speakers, guest speakers. We will be providing a dinner for our honorary families. We have 12 families that we're going to be honoring. And we will also have a spiritual experience, a spiritual ritual ceremony at the end to honor all of the babies or infants or unborn star seedlings that came here that was only for a brief moment.
Wow. Okay. All right. It's such a beautiful event to do and for such and obviously it's a challenge for a woman to go through the loss of a unborn child or an infant. And I think that it's amazing what you are doing in your community around that. I've had to provide, counseling for women who have gone through infant loss as well as have had miscarriages that were later term. And it's a lot, that the devastation that causes is really, really impactful. And so being able to have that space, I have a couple of people I think I need to refer this message to so that they can know how to connect. Are there any support groups or anything like that maybe a part of your journey in terms of helping women in this area?
As far as support groups, as far as the event, I can't, let me say this. There is one support group that I know of here in Columbus. They're called Compromise Friends. The organizer name is Stephanie. I haven't been able to contact her. But I know about her because of last year. I was able to contact her and learn more about her organization. So in that aspect, yes. Also, our organization, we have bereavement or death doulas available to mothers that have experienced any type of child loss. So we do provide a service for that here. I'm sure there are other organizations out there that I just haven't been able to tap into. But as far as I know, the Compromised Friends is the only group outside of our organization that actually caters to women that have group sessions and things of that nature for women and families of child loss.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. Good to hear. I'm glad that you could share that resource and also kind of speak a little bit to what you guys do in terms of being able to help mothers who have lost a baby along their journey, because it is very, it's very common. I know that a lot of women, speak about it in different ways, but it is something that a lot of people experience, and it's not an easy thing to go through. So I love that you do have that kind of aftercare in place for them to be able to make sure that they're okay. So
thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So, I'm not going to let you get out of here without answering the question that this podcast is centered around, which is, how do you personally connect with the idea of being self-aware and fucked up?
How do I personally connect with being self-aware and fucked up? Well, you and I having this conversation that we had today speaks directly into self-awareness and being fucked up at the same time. Okay. What I stated as far as, and I'm going to use that under construction phrase. Under construction, I'm going to say I'm working on my fucked upness. I can see it. I can see the changes that need to be made. And I'm going to work on those. And I am aware of those things in order to be able to make positive changes and not continuing to make the same mistakes that I've been making. So to me, as far as my life and how things are going in my life, I know that there are things that I need to change that are fucked up. But again, being aware of these things, I am able to change these things in a positive light and put myself on the right path so I don't go back down that path of fucked upness.
Okay. All right. I love your answer. And you skated a little bit, but I'm here for it. But I definitely appreciate you being vulnerable and opening up. Like I said, the under construction thing is something that so many people out there really need to embrace, and just acknowledge, like, hey, I am a work in progress. Hey, I literally did some fucked up shit that I knew it was wrong, but you know what? I'm about to fix it. I'm about to call whatever I need to call on, whatever I need to do. I'm about to call them up and try to get my shit together, because so many of us struggle with trying to put out this idea of perfection. And it's like, we know that shit ain't real. Like, for real. Let's be real. So definitely appreciate your time.
Most definitely. And you've always known me, and I've always kept it real. And like I told you when we were talking yesterday, I don't mind being transparent at all, because my transparency can help another woman or another family or another sister that's going through the same thing. So anytime, sister, anytime.
I got you. I definitely appreciate that. How can people connect with you?
All right. Well, there are several ways to connect with me. I'm on social media, Facebook. You can find me. My personal business page is Doula Ife Adebowale. My business page is Cherishing Life Beginnings. It's the same thing on Instagram, Cherishing Life Beginnings. You can reach out to me at www.cherishinglifebeginnings.com. That's our business webpage, as well as a form or a way for you to contact me. Or you can text me, give me a call, 706-593-4824.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing how to connect. You guys, the information to be able to connect with Doula Ife will be in the show notes of this particular episode. Also, make sure that you guys follow me, Tree the LPC, on all social media platforms under the handle Tree the LPC. Until next time, be safe, be well, and make sure that you take care of your mental health.